morning, dear students, and welcome back. Today, we all are going to start with the third chapter, that is coordinate geometry. You all have studied how to plot numbers or a point on a number line. As you can see, in the previous classes, you have learned how to plot a number line. The point from which the distance are marked is called the origin. So this is the origin. We use the number line to represent a number by marking points on line at equal distances. So whenever we mark a point, we always point it at equal distances. The point in the positive direction, that is towards the right of the origin, is taken as positive, and the points towards the left of the origin is taken as negative. René Descartes, the great French mathematician, invented the idea of placing two such perpendicular lines to each other on a plane and locating points on the plane by referring them to these lines. So we take two perpendicular lines. The horizontal line is taken as x dash x, and it is also called the x-axis, and the vertical line as y dash y, and is called the y-axis. So this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. So what do we see? That these axes divide the plane into four parts. These four parts are called the quadrants. What are these called? These are called quadrants. When we number it into anti-clockwise direction, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. So we call this plane as the Cartesian plane or the coordinate plane. The x coordinate is called the abscissa. So x coordinate is called the abscissa and the y coordinate is called the ordinate. So children, always remember that whenever you write the coordinates of a point in the coordinate plane, the x coordinate or the abscissa comes first and then the y coordinate, that is the ordinates. We always place the coordinates in brackets. Suppose that now I have to plot the coordinates 1, 2. This means what? That 1 is the abscissa and 2 is the ordinate. First coordinate is always abscissa and the second coordinate is always ordinate. So let us see how to plot it. So first it is 1. So we will see from the origin, we will see where is the 1 of the x-axis, that is the x coordinates, and then we will go to 2. So here it is 2. So what do we get? 1, 2, we get this as, here we can name it as P1, 2. Now, what are the coordinates of the origin O? This is the origin O. What is the origin? It is the point of intersection of the two axes, that is the x-axis and the y-axis. So what will be the coordinates of the origin? We see that it has 0 distance from both the axes, that is from the abscissa as well as the ordinates. So what do we find? The distance from the abscissa is 0 and from the ordinate is also 0. So the coordinates of the origin is 0, 0. Now children, let us discuss exercise 3.2 of NCERT. Now what is the first question? Write the answer of each of the following questions. Number 1. What is the name of horizontal and vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? So what is the name of horizontal line? That is this is the horizontal line, so this is x axis, okay, and the vertical line, that is the line which is drawn vertically, that is called the y axis, okay. Now next question, what is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? As we have already discussed that the two axes divides the plane into four parts and each part is known as a quadrant. So this is a quadrant. Write the name of the point where these two lines intersect. So where do these lines intersect? Just now we discussed, that is the origin. Before that, children, let us discuss one more point, that is the quadrant which has, ये वाला focus करो. Before we proceed with the other question, children, let us understand the relationship between the signs of the coordinates of a point and the quadrant of a point in which it lies. So this is the first quadrant. What do we find? That it is enclosed by the positive x-axis. It is towards the right of the origin. So x-axis is towards the right of the origin, so it will be positive. And what is the vertical line? That is also, that y-axis is also towards the upper part of the origin. That is why we take it as positive. So in this case, the coordinates will be positive, positive. That is abscissa and ordinate, both will be positive. Now we come to the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, what do we find? That it is enclosed by, we always know that we will have to always write down the abscissa first. So what is the abscissa in this case? It is negative. Why? Because it is towards the left of the origin. And the vertical line is to above the origin, so it is taken as positive. So it is negative, positive. The third quadrant, let us see the third quadrant. What do we find? That it is enclosed by the negative x-axis and the negative y-axis. As you all know that the line above the origin is taken as positive, below the origin is taken as negative, left of the origin is taken as negative, and right of the origin is taken as positive. So the third quadrant is enclosed by the negative x-axis and the negative y-axis. So the coordinates of the third quadrant will be always negative. Both ordinates and abscissa will be negative. Now let's see the fourth quadrant. What do we find here, children? You will see that the fourth quadrant is enclosed by the positive x-axis and the negative y-axis. How? What do we find here? That x-axis is or the abscissa is towards the right of the origin, and the vertical line is below the origin. So it is taken as positive and negative. So first quadrant, the coordinates are positive, positive. Second, negative, positive. Third, negative, negative. And fourth, positive, negative. Okay. Now let us proceed to the second question of the exercise. Exercise 3.2, question number 2. For this we have to see the figure also. See the figure which is given in the next page, that is figure 3.14. You have to write down the coordinates of B. The first question is write down the coordinates of B. To write down the coordinates of B, what we have to see? We have to first see the abscissa part. What is the abscissa over here? It is -5. And what is the ordinate part? Just look here. We will see the y-axis. Where is it? It is 2. So the coordinates of B is -5, 2. Okay, children. Now come to the second question. The coordinates of C. So it is here. Let's see what will be the coordinates of C. What do you find? What is the abscissa here? It is towards the right of the origin. And where is it? It is 5 units towards the right of the origin. That is, it will be positive, as we have just learnt that the coordinates in the fourth quadrant will be always positive and negative. So ordinate will be positive and the abscissa will be positive and the ordinate will be negative. What is our ordinate over here? It is again 5, but it is negative. Okay. In the same way, you will proceed with the other question also. Like in question number 3, you have to find out the points identified by the coordinates -3, -5. So let's see which is the abscissa part which is towards the left of the origin, and it is 3 units towards the left. So it is -3 over here and -5. So here. So what do we find? Here it is -3, -5. So the answer to the third question will be E. Similarly, children, you complete the whole exercise.